Hello, welcome to Ace Attorney. We're here again. This long-ass journey to read the whole bloody thing. So, good morning, Mr. Wright. Good morning, Maggie. Good morning to you. Yeah. Yes. Good morning to everyone else in this Forsaken land. Anyway, so what do you think it is going to happen today, sir? Well, I don't really know. Okay, don't lie. Yesterday's session didn't go so well and ended up on a giant mystery. It's not that mystery, actually. That's true. You ever heard of the... What's that? Elephant in the room? Anyway, we still haven't solved a single part of it yet. Are you okay, Nick? Yeah, of course. No, I'm not. I saw the little flash of doubt in your eyes. No, that wasn't doubt. That was determination. Why don't I believe you? It's nearly time, Maggie. You better get going to the defendant's seat. Roger, don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you. Hey, pal. Hell, Gumshoe. Quit stressing Maggie out. She doesn't need that. She doesn't need that. How did you know she was stressed? I was watching through the doorway. Oh, look like you lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Here, maybe this will help. Huh? Have you taken aromatherapy too? Oh, in a million years, pal. Don't tell me that you don't remember this thing. Come to think of it, that doesn't look like one of those aromatherapy bottles. It's a small bottle that stood in the Trebian kitchen a couple of days ago. Yeah? Look at those little bottles. Is the aromatherapy ones? Okay. Wait, isn't that the medicine that the gal was taking? Doesn't have a label, doesn't smell, blah blah blah. We haven't got the analysis result back from the lab. What is it? Is the poison? Never enough, pal. It's medication. Medication? Yeah. 4 years. Topical use only, apparently. Yeah, I could have guessed it. You mean... Yeah, it's the medication Glenn L was using for his ruptured eardrum. Was Glenn L gear medication doing... What was Glenn medication doing in the kitchen? What about the unidentified fingerprints? I don't understand this thing. You're a police officer, right? Well, you are investigators, whatever, right? You couldn't find the bloody bottle, and the bottle was not even hidden, was in the kitchen. They must grow up, so they only had the analyzed content of the bottle. Or they might have gotten something on the prints, but... that's going to weaken its impact as a piece of evidence. Okay, pal, this is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable today, got it? Today's trial, we're gonna expose that guy for what he's done. Oh, my name isn't Phoenix Wright. It's kinda... I don't know. Having my trouble with the plot. Oh well, let's see what happens. Who is now in session for the trial? Oh, Maggie Bayard. Bayard, the defense is ready, Your Honor. Otto is not ready. Ready and waiting as you always, Your Honor. Very good, then we'll get underway at once. Yesterday we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the victim's testimony was plagued with the numbers of problems. The mark of the rim of the cup shows that the victim drank from it with his right hand, but according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand. Thank you, Mr. Godo. Further, according to the witness account, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece with his left ear. Yet the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in the ear. So really how many contradictions a single case can have. I really like this song. Allow you soundtrack. Yeah. Allow me to enlighten you. The world you see keeps turning, and we must turn with it. But I very like less the metaphors that Godo use. Lost me already, Mr. Godo? Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Oh, you loser, think like that. You got to change with the times. That's one of my rules. Implying that you resolved these contradictions? You know the answer to these riddles? The old guy wasn't just throwing seeds in here, he was throwing us off the sand. Then today I'll prove it. Very well, let the first witness take the stand. No. And you are? Oh, bonjour everyone. I'm Jean Amson, the chef restaurant enchanté. Forgive me for asking with this, but are you a woman? Oh la la, monsieur. As you can see, I'm a petit gentleman. No? The day of things today, you were in the très bien kitchen. Isn't that right? Oh, with you, monsieur. What? Everything feels right. What? Huh. Oh wow, he's totally unfazed. Does anything intimidate this guy? Why? What? I don't understand. It was like flirting in a courtroom. Very well, your testimony, please, witness. Please tell the court what happened that day at C'est bien. We volunteer. When it all happened, there was just customer in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with some new articles today. Like having a large mirror between the table, for example. Where perhaps is what was looking at. Look up a piece of the glasses, we think everything reverse. Mirror? Oui, un grand mirror. La most enormous mirror. What the fuck? Suddenly the mystery disappears. Why there was a mirror? Like I said, the word keeps turning so wrong with it. I will explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. The mirror will have been everything appear back to the front. What the heck? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me. I will explain everything. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. The coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Let's think back over Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we? The boy was wearing earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his bags. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt. So to summarize, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now if Mr. Kudo saw that as a reflection in a mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side. Exactement. You see, monsieur, now that you think about it is not so hard. Unfortunately, that's where we run into a monumental contradiction with the facts. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in a mirror, why is that HMD is now on the wrong side of his head? Oh, that Mr. Wright is correct. If the witness generally observed the victim reflected in a mirror, then we should expect the victim's eyepiece to have been over his right.
Objection!
How bitter. Try, you should have a taste of this bitterness. It will calm you down in no time. Are we talking about your coffee or something completely different? You don't understand the way the witness thinks. Do we? How he thinks. You remember this, I presume? I broke the vase. Sorry, apology. Mr. Kudo's wrong testimony? The letter? Exactly. The old man has one very grievous habit, other than throwing seeds. The more of that impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. Okay, and that's what's the most striking thing about Mr. Owl? Clearly, it's the victim eyepiece. And that's my point, the old man strikes again. Mr. Owl, HMD, made a big impression on the old man. I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they were both on his left ear. Do you hear? His left ear. Huh. Well tried. Ouch. That's the worst but best impression of Kudos ever. Kudos to you. Wow, I really thought he was old Sadie for a minute. There, Kudos. God is good. My God is good. Well, with the soundtrack and everything, I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rushing much of his testimony. But luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of a contradiction you found is just a rush. Oh, shame. A mirror can be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So, what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go and tell us the call, we are all ears. Oui, I can explain. Please, if you will lay on the plan of la restaurant. Also, I'm assuming it sounds like that. Alors, is everyone sitting comfortable? Really? La meilleure est middle of a lesson dividing the two arms. The only one seat from which you could Okay, this is stupid as fuck. No, he was sitting here. Did you say that? The lady that next to the victim's ass was where Oman was sitting. After that, he seen a mirror, so it was known that way. But naturally, I did not touch anything else. What the fuck? I see no problem with the explanation we have just here. From the table next to the victim, Mr. Kuro could have seen the victim in the mirror. What a little cookie, am I confusing les man's lazies? Wouldn't he notice the mirror? It's a big-ass mirror. Don't worry about it. You can keep up except for the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there again. Hate that guy. You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that? Volunteer, of course. Says a monk. Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please. Ah, man. Good. This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we have heard of, Your Honor. The crime photo? Yes, this photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist. The vase? What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? Should not exist? Huh. Sounds like you are describing yourself, right? Am I? He did broke the vase. So, assuming that is true, then at the table the vase should also be broken. Now then, if the defense will please clarify this statement. And if you have a restaurant, you will know that these tables new. You mean the vase? I hope it's the vase.
Take that!
I think it's pretty obvious. The vase? What possible connection does he has with his testimony? Your Honor, I'm telling you that there should have been no vase on this table. Because it's very clear it contradicts with this piece of evidence. This? Oh, sorry.
Take that!
It's a well-known fact, and not always, but most restaurants, when you are alone, or like if you are just one person, they take away like if you are table 2, they take away the how you call it, you know, the plates and the forks, the utensil. There is one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo brought the vase that was on the table where he was sitting, and yet the court can see there is an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kudo was not in fact sitting at the table next to the victim at all.
Objection!
Don't be an idiot, right? That's impossible. There is only one Kudo could have seen the victim reflection for. Exactly. There is only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in the turbienta at all. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie. Mon Dieu!
Objection!
Don't try to confuse the court, right? Obviously the witness cleaned up the vase, while the police were taking their time getting to the crime.
Objection!
Unfortunately, Mr. Goddard, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary in his own words. I did not touch anything else except the mirror. Still looking for the coffee? Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself? I was right, there was no mirror in the restaurant that day. The lie of this revelation will return back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear in which he couldn't hear? What? You only get one shot in life, there's no turning back. You want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, right? And this problem is all yours. How do you explain that, old man Saul? If I can answer this, then I'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it. Are you going to be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick? There's more than just this one contradiction, man. What do you mean? Remember what Maggie told us? There was another man at the victim's table. Who could it be? And there was a sample CD on the victim's table. No files in the face of the Mr. Kudo testimony. Oh. I'm sorry. It's telling me. I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up. No, you can't realize it took you a while, Mr. Wright. Let's hear your answer. Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradiction in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. The victim was a phony? I think the victim was a phony. In the case riddle with the contradictions, yet there is one very simple answer that clears them all up. And what is that? The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events. What? Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glenn Elk. It was an imposter phony pretending to be Mr. Elk. Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. I saw how it ended wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. What surprised me is like, how the hell do you go around with a sign about it? Or the Odin code settle down all the clear the courtroom? Quiet, Gramps. Why don't you clear out of here? Huh? What do you say? Right. Are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup? Yes. Someone pretended to be Glenn Elk and acted out the whole coffee party. All for the express purpose of creating a witness out of the Mr. Victor Crew. Get real, try. Why would anyone want to do that? Isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about in his testimony was the serving girl brought him to Giovacchino, but she put something. That's the serving girl, right? There is in the defendant's chair, you remember her well. It's so hard to believe that. There was one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poison. To show Maggie's bite in the act of poisoning coffee.
Objection!
Are you insinuating that the waitress in the old man's story was a fake as well? It's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but it's also true that the chef was there. He would have noticed what was happening. That's right, well, witness. If your restaurant really was the scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct? Oh la la, this is most difficult for moi. No, it's quite simple. You have to do is to testify. You under oath after. Was there, in fact, a phony trapianta? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tells the whole truth about what happened. The defense request for additional testimony is accepted. You will actually explain detailed event in the restaurant that day. Oui. Oui. Ouch. La victime, monsieur, quelqu'un moi au restaurant today. I remember the Oman arrived no late afternoon. There were no other customers. Where on le terrain, mon elk became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later that a poison incident occurred. No, there was no time for filming to do light acting. Just so we are clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after all. Je vous demande pardon, forgive moi. Your Honor, I wanted the mess to be cleared out quickly. What have you just done? It's committed perjury, Miss Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later. Oui. For now, we will hear your cross-examination. Please, Mr. Wright. Well, he took the perjury charge a bit too well. I guess he'll be in more serious trouble after this cross-examination. By old man, you mean Victor Kudo, right? Oui, come often with my special coffee. I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's better I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience. Oh, you make me so happy, monsieur. You are most welcome anytime. I said it was worth one sip, and nothing more. So Mr. Kudo arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask about his arrival. Details. What time was it? Out of curiosity, about what time has Mr. Kudo arrived? Oh, no. I cannot remember, monsieur. Believe we were told by the witness yesterday. The crime was reported 2:25 by a kind of scary old man, sir. Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness? This happened about 20 minutes after he arrived, so the victim must have arrived between 2 and 2:10. After 2, huh? Thank you for your jogging my memory, monsieur. Yeah, wonderful. You can see here all the time and do nothing now, can I? The time of the day will be added to the testimony, to the witness testimony. Oui, monsieur, judge everything I do it for you. Merci bien, that's French, isn't it? I'm glad at least one person is good mood. Oh shit. He's even humming a song to himself. So if you recall...
Objection!
I'm afraid I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong. Quoi? Pourquoi? What do you mean? At the time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was a millionaire radio. Each week they announced the winning numbers of the $500,000 lottery ticket. Who is the most Legement was listening to? I can't see any problem with this testimony, Mr. Wright. I wonder. You say the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2 p.m., correct? Oui, I'm sure of it. I remember perfectly. I know it was time because I just finished serving the lunch menu. Get to the point, right, if you have one. That show is broadcast live at 1:30 p.m. and it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life. It's on the air at 1:30. Now supposedly the victim made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred after 2 p.m. Because the show was already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time. No! The victim, this victim we've been told about, has done nothing but the impossible. Listen to the radio eruption and eardrum. Catching show that was already over. There's only one conclusion you can draw from the fact. The victim was an imposter, acting out the poison 30 minutes after the real. Yes, there were 2 Glen Elks in the end. The real Glen Elk now dead, having been poisoned by the real Glen, and the phony Glen Elk acting out the events of Mr. Kudos to witness. It certainly seemed that way. I mean, it wasn't the case of how could you explain the time discrepancy?
Objection!
High performance, right? They're almost honorable. But 7. You lack the rock hard foundation of rhythm to build your song. What is it? Is it Theory 101? I have the book right now with me. I'm not even joking, it's literally called Music Theory 101. Let's work out. If I remember, just I'll put a picture if I remember it. Let's work out according to your imagined theory, it's not just after 2 p.m. The funny Alg is proving a flake for the benefit of Mr. Kudo. How do you explain then where the real Glen Alg is? I don't believe I have to spell it out for the court. However, at the time the real Glen Alg was already dead. So that's certainly the obvious conclusion.
Objection!
Why have you memory for this shit? Thank you, Tried. That's exactly what I was hoping you would say. What? Now I presume you can prove this theory of yours. Can you explain where missing corpse went to? The missing corpse? According to the old man's testimony, there was only one other customer there. That customer was the phony Glen Elk. Then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim? Nargile. Well, of course, in the bloody kitchen. The prosecutor has a valid point, Mr. Wright. If your theory is to stand up to examination by the court, you must provide us with a proof by answering the prosecution question. Where did the killer hide the body? Yes, Your Honor. No conjecture, right? Let's hear some facts for once. Show to the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden. Evidence? What's with the intense pressure in here all of a sudden? It's quite obvious. I don't understand it. I thought I had him with this contradiction. But he turned it all around and backed me into a corner instead. Well, Mr. Wright, the court will now hear the defense theory and evidence. First, where was the body of the real Messiah concealed? Outside. Inside? Outside. Outside, middle of the street. It would have been too dangerous to take the body outside. Obviously, the body must have been hidden somewhere inside the piano. Interesting. But where will the body have been hidden? Inside a restaurant. Perhaps you will care to show the code on these plans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. The exact location where the piano is.
Take that!
The body was hidden here. I see. Nice supposition, but the real question is, can you back it up? Where's the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location?
Take that!
I assume it's the bottle. Miss Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle? No. I have never seen the ugly bottle before my life. It is the very best bottle, monsieur. The highest quality niveau moi. Where was the bottle found, Mr. Wright? Interesting enough, Your Honor, it was found in the kitchen of Turbian. Quoi? But only I ever used a bottle for my aromatherapy alone. But this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication. What kind of medication? I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they? That Mr. L visited well, I'm not even trying to say that. What the hell? Otolaryngological clinic. I was given medication that day. I don't know how to pronounce it, to be honest. I'm not gonna search for it. I'm not. You can't be serious. The defense had the contents of the bottle analyzed, and I have the lab result here. The contents of the bottle match the prescription that was given to Mr. L. Bore. Canal murder hit the body into the restaurant kitchen, and at which time? This bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen? Mon Dieu? Yes, you know, I'm about to say it was you who hit the victim's body. You did find a job pretending to defend my client, Maggie Byron. However, we're setting her up to take a fall behind the poor girl's back. Ora! This is an extraordinary development. Witness, did you murder Mr. Glenn Elm? Never! I could never do such a horrible thing. What did he change? No! How can you shout no? Meanwhile, gulping coffee like a hellish hound. I don't know. Satanist? I don't know. The business! Every time I get lied to, I always down my amount of coffee. That's one of my rules. Damn shit. You're gonna need a lot of fucking coffee. Yeah, that's the right idea how many cups you had by now. But I like to do the same to the person who likes it. I like to take them down with my empty coffee cup. How? By throwing at them. Listen up, chef. How about a brand new flavor in your ear, my age-deficient friend? Age-deficient friend? Wow, there's we're going right through it. Okay. Je vous demande pardon, please. You must hear me out. Is it trap? Is it me, por favor? Yo hablo español, Miss Samson, and por favor is Spanish. Yo hablo español. I'm only going to ask you once, did you do it? No, absolutely no. Let's hear it. You got one shot, right, Grams? Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lied under oath again, Mr. Good of Coffee Mark awaits you. And that's my gavel. Wait, is this clear? What do they always say in the movies? I've got a bad feeling about this. Is that bad? Very well, begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong. Okay. It is true I'd the body in the kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I don't choose how to go along with this because there was a reason why I could not refuse. But don't kill him. That's better. You must believe him. Well, that sucks. You were forced? By who? By who? I cannot say or I will be erased. Eraser. Let's try a different question then. When Mr. Al died, was he really the only person at this table? Oh, there was. There was another man. I knew it. Maggie was telling the truth then. You may cross-examine your witness, Mr. Wright. There's just one more thing I need to do. I gotta break this guy and get him to tell us the name of the real killer. Yeah, killer! As Andy's dance off the rings around the rosy, Mr. Armstrong. This is the man that you've been referring to. Ah! Who is that? I feel like I've seen him somewhere before. I don't know, maybe a month ago in this very courtroom. This man is Furio Tigre. He is the manager of a loan office called Tender Lender. There is no point trying to hide the truth anymore, Mr. Armstrong. I know you could go and sense me, at least not there. $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying him back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything this man told you. Wait, it is odd you say. Mr. Armstrong. That Tigger told me he was going to use my restaurant for business rendezvous. Please improve your fucking picture. On the day in questions, we were meeting the victim Le demands repay his loan. I don't know what it happened later. Just did told me to do it and then no truce. Car både eller kanske making out the lightning area and into the kitchen of his I just forget what I see. We can now safely say she was unconscious for half an hour. What I found extravagantly is like they just went for it, you know. I think we can now safely say that man who forced the hand was Mr. Furio Tigre. What did they like be fearful? Like people that fall in conscious, you don't know when they wake up, right? Do I have a further question for you, Mr. Armstrong? The poison the lottery ticket that were found in the defendant's apartment. Was that your doing as well? No, I knew nothing about that. Making it look like it was Maggie who done it. I was not. It's despicable. Mr. Goro? You will summon this Furio Tigre as a witness. I doubt that can be arranged today, so we'll adjourn for now. Proceeding will continue tomorrow. 30 minutes. What? The trial will go on. I'll see you to myself. I need half an hour to get the guy on the stand, not a minute more. Out there! Don't sit back and relax yet, right? No one knows if that chef is really telling the truth. This trial could still go either way. Very well. Your request is granted, Mr. Goro. We'll resume once Mr. Tigre is ready to take the stand. Until then, court is adjourned for 30 minutes recess. Ladies and gentlemen, you know the dealio. We're gonna end the episode right now, right here. This is like, I'm finding some holes in it, stories, kind of. But, yeah, whatever, I guess. Anyway. Well, what a... I guess it's kind of weird, it's like, unconscious. Like that. Anyway, have a lovely day, and goodbye.